This morning and just sat and watched and took it all in. And they did a great job of talking about how to get better from yesterday and also prepare for today. Um, Played really hard, played really together. The ball was moving around, the players were moving. It was good.
So you've got a lot of different pieces swirling around, I imagine, right now. But when you're watching the guys go through shooting and things of that nature, what are you looking for?
No, I'm just getting a feel for, as much as anything, some of the vocabulary and lingo that is more probably prevalent or more known in NBA circles that may not have been the same in college, and so that I can be up to speed when the time comes appropriately. We might be saying the same thing in maybe two different words, and if I can make their job easier by learning the communication that's already been used, then that's one person having to change instead of 15. So that's one of the things that I'm working on, and I just really am sitting and listening right now. And it's been great. These guys are doing a great job, and Jay's leading the charge really well.
Have you given yourself a time frame at all when you want to maybe be a little more engaged as far as what's happening out there?
Yeah, I'm going to spend the week and the next couple of weeks learning and thinking and spending time. I want to be very measured with that and make sure that I take the appropriate steps in that. And then we'll when we get to work with our players, both individually and collectively. Certainly there will be more and more of my voice as we move along. But one of the things I really value is hiring a staff that is not only outstanding but also empowered to be really active and really vocal. And I think that's a big part of it.
And just how is that progress going so far?
Well, we're working towards it. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of time. And want to make sure that we go right and get it right. We do have a couple of at least weeks here to play with. Got a lot of interest, a lot of inquiries, and I'm doing my due diligence on that.
When you look to put together the rest of your staff, can you pinpoint a couple of qualities, characteristics that you want for the guys who will be coming from the outside?
Yeah, so I think obviously having another couple of guys with NBA experience is a big deal, and then potentially a person that is more familiar with me, and I think that is what I'm weighing and balancing and seeing and doing my research on right now. And we're going to get there, but it's I'm going to take my time because I think it's more important to get it right than get it done quickly.
What about someone who's worked with you?
What's that?
What about someone who's worked with you?
That's what I mentioned at the end there. I think having somebody who has that, understands what I might be looking for out of a drill or a way of doing things is a positive. But they also have to have, if that's the case, the ambition to this needs to be something that they really want to do versus staying in college. And they also, I want them to have been exposed to it and excited about making that transition as well. So, that's not the end-all be-all, but it certainly would help in the transition.
Drew Cannon was here today. Is he someone you'll consider?
Was that?
Drew Cannon was here today, right? Is he someone you'll consider?
Well, I think Drew is going to be, and I don't know exactly where everything stands. I think he's definitely going to be on board in some capacity, and where that is, and who he reports to, I'm not exactly sure yet.
Coach, Jared was here talking about Celtic pride and that there's no one in that locker room that's thinking about tanking. Talk about just wanting to go out there and win and keep the tradition going. Can you give me your early thoughts on the culture in the locker room?
Well, that's great. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, right? Preparing to win the next game. That's what I was asked to do and hired to do, and that's what I'm going to try every single minute of every single day to do. And I think everybody that I've talked to, that's the way they feel, the players.
Is there any hasn't made every play out there, but he has definitely shown some signs. Can you just touch on what you've seen out of him? Out of two
Well, he took a few charges today. I thought he played more physical today. I thought he was really engaged. He had a couple of shots at the rim that he'd probably like to have back, but he also had a couple of good finishes. I think that he's probably picked up the defensive stuff in the past year pretty well, and he's communicating. He's trying to do the right thing. I really enjoyed it. I spent a little bit of time with him at shoot around this morning, just talking about little things that happened in yesterday's game, and really engaged and wants to be a good player. So that's a good thing.
After a few days here now, are you going to give James directives, things that you might want to see in the coming days?
Yeah, no, I'm going to let him run with this, and I'm going to continue to be a learner. He's doing a great job, and he's a really good basketball coach. And we've talked about, Jay and I went to dinner last night. We talked a lot about kind of what I envision here moving forward, and some of the things that we both agree on that are really important, and not only from a cultural standpoint, but also from a basketball standpoint. If you look at, if I come in the fifth day of this and want to tweak, change, whatever, it throws everybody off. So at the end of the day, I think it's more important that they've been practicing since Thursday, finish this thing out well and finish it right and feel good about it. And a lot of that stuff that they're working on is going to translate right into what we'll do. But Jay's doing a great job, and I want him to just continue doing it.
What have you seen Phil Pressey, which is one of the areas that you guys over the weekend?
Yeah, I think I like Phil. I think, there are some things that Phil can certainly get better at. He will. He'll work hard to do it. Right when I got the job, I sent a text message out that night. He called me within about a minute after I sent his text. And I think he really wants to be good. If you notice, he's a hard guy to screen. So he gets through screens, which is a positive, even for a guy sometimes that you think of a smaller guy maybe having a defensive disadvantage, but he's a hard guy to screen. And then he's making jump shots right now. He's very dynamic with the ball, and I think if he continues to do that and if he continues to make shots and really work on that part of things, he's going to really be in good shape.
And you just touched on it a second ago. His defense for a guy with that height, it's usually an issue, but it doesn't seem, at least the first couple of games, not to be that big.
Well, he had especially a few deflections in games, and he's active with his hands. One of the things that I noticed, and I don't know, maybe I just caught him on the right plays, right? But his eyes are really, he's trying to read what's going on. He's not just tunnel vision into his man or tunnel vision into the ball. He's got his eyes moving all over the place, and he is aware of what's going on, and he's active. He's got really quick feet and good hands, and so that helps.
The combination of him and Darius Johnson-Odom, they were pretty much unstoppable today. How well do they play off of each other?
Well, I think they played really well off each other today, and that's only going to get better, right? That's what playing together does. These guys have been together very long. I think Phil's only been in the NBA. He's almost been in the NBA. He's only been more than me by a little. But I think he's doing really well. And then I thought Darius Johnson-Odom, when he gets a full head of steam going to the rim, oh my goodness, is he an explosive guy?
Right. When Danny might ask you, or you guys talk college guys, there's kind of a right thing there, because obviously we have a list of guys that we've seen in the last 6 years, and obviously a few years that you could say.
You mean the players?
The players, exactly, like a Phil Pressey or a guy who you've seen over the
So a lot of these guys I've not only seen in college, I've seen them in the AAU circuit in the summertime.
Yeah.
So spent a lot of time watching them. I recruited a lot of the guys that are in this thing, and not very successfully, most of them. The one that did have a Butler, I guess, his ankle maybe today, Andrew Smith, but I know a lot of these guys, and I've watched them play for quite a while. So when he brings up the college names, yeah, there's no question. And even like when you think about some of those guys that were drafted in and around when the Celtics draft, we played against a lot of them, including Olympic.
Coach, when you look at rebuilding and what you're doing here, how do you take your job at Butler and connect it to what you did there with what you want to do here?
Well, I think there's a couple of ways about that. I think there's an organizational approach, right? So that the things that affect positively any business organization and anything that is going to run smoothly is an aligned group that is going to value all of the important things to achieve success. Doesn't mean you're not going to have some days when it's where there's going to be some